Hi, Henk Akkermans. Supply Network Dynamics Chapter 12, clip number 10, Historical Behavior. What happened historically? Well, to understand what happened historically, we have to split the runs in two halves. The first 2 years are what happened without the change in the collaborative KPI regime, so without this being switched on and off. The second half was after the collaborative KPI regime. If we zoom into the first 2 years, then the first 24 months, then what happens was more or less this: a gradual decline in trust on both sides. Why? Well, not so much because the install base of customers of KPN noticed so much, but because there was more and more work coming from disruptions. Number 3, more work, more and more queries from customers. And meantime, the capacity of those agents was pretty much fixed. And why was that then? At any rate, first of all, there was a self-fulfilling prophecy there. As soon as the workload became high for those call center agents, they no longer had time to clean up the data. As a result of that, it took them longer to deal with customer queries, which led to further workload, etc., which is a higher, all the time, a vicious cycle, higher workload all the time. As a result of the collapse of the telecom market, the revenues dropped dramatically in the first year, and as you see in line 1, but you also see in line 2, in line 3 actually, that the revenues for the buyer, which is a certain percentage of the revenue for the revenue for the supplier, a certain percentage of the revenue for the buyer, also decline. And then the supplier is faced with higher costs and lower revenues, and meanwhile a declining, eroding level number 1 of IT quality. The required investments going up, and the IT quality gap is actually also going up more and more. We need more investments, but we're not getting them because the supplier doesn't have the money to do so. And here you see that the queries for those to the supplier staff also going up, another source of costs. Okay, that's what happened until the turnaround. What happened then afterwards is what we can see if we run for the full 4 years, 2 years after the turnaround. And there you see reverse. So you see that the supplier is immediately a lot happier. It takes the buyer somewhat more time to catch up. And why is that then? Well, again, not so much because of the things happening with the customers of the telecom provider, but much more because the backlog of work is suddenly declining. The work from disruptions and for the buyer side. And why is that? Well, as a result of collaborative KPI, a number of things happen. All of a sudden there's a great focus on the operational and enabling KPI, so to improve the quality of fallout here, the quality of the data. There is a serious investment by the supplier up here, the pink line, to improve to narrow the IT quality gap. And you see here line 5, that's actually quickly being brought up to speed. Which has a significant impact on IT system quality, and that's very good news. As a result of which these queries start declining rapidly. People still need to move, but they have fewer outages. And so the trust level with the supplier is also greatly improved because they now get a better picture of what's happening at the buyer. So all this is good news as a result of the collaborative KPIs. It cost them quite some money, but in the end they more than were compensated for this by lower costs and higher quality.